All right. So for those of you who are just joining, this is this lecture. We're going to be talking about how to write a paragraph. This presentation that you see is not mine. It's actually from Professor Jeffrey Obrock, and it's the Department of History, and I believe it's from CSUN, which is Cal State University in Northridge in California. I think that's what CSUN is. Anyways, so we're going to begin with talking about what is a paragraph. So a paragraph is a group of words that is closely related, a group of sentences that are closely related together, and they talk about one idea. Okay, so it's not random sentences that just form random ideas. They all contribute to making one idea or proving one idea. Typically, a good paragraph would be 6 to 12 sentences. That would be a good sized paragraph, but it could be a little bit less. It could be a little bit more. It's up to you and up to the topic that you are talking about. So let's scroll through and you'll see that there are parts to the paragraph. Does anybody know what these parts are? Yes, no, maybe?
The topic sentence is the initiation for the paragraph, and the other one supporting ideas of the same thing. And the conclusion is the final paragraph.
Absolutely. So what we have in each paragraph is we have a topic sentence, supporting sentences, and a concluding sentence. So the topic sentence, as in the name, it tells us the topic that we are talking about. It explains to us it introduces to us what is this paragraph about. Remember, it talks about one idea. So it tells us what that idea is. For example, I like to eat cheese. That could be a start to a paragraph. Supporting sentences are things that tell us why this idea makes sense. So why is this idea that we introduced at the beginning making sense? So if I'm to say I like cheese, then I can say I like cheese. Cheese is good for your health. Okay. So that would be a supporting sentence as to why I like cheese. All right. And the last thing that we have is concluding sentence. And a conclusion, it means ending, right? So concluding sentence is the ending of that paragraph, and it's kind of like a mini summary of what that paragraph is about. Any questions? No? Okay. So what is a topic sentence? Like we said, the topic sentence, it expresses the main idea of the paragraph, which is what the paragraph is about. And it's almost always the first sentence. It doesn't have to be the first sentence, but in most cases, it is the first sentence of the paragraph. And lastly, what we have is usually, it's usually the more general sentence in the paragraph. So it's kind of an overall idea. There are no details in it. So here's the tip that we have in this presentation, which is start with something simple and straightforward, then make it more sophisticated. For example, the one that we gave earlier, I like cheese. Very simple, very easy, very direct. Questions? Okay. So what are some examples of, some examples of topic sentences? For example, Canada is one of the best countries in the world to live in. Remember what we have? Our tip, something simple and straightforward, right? Very simple. What's the idea? Canada is the best country in the world to live in. Simple idea, straightforward, and easy, and it's general. Next, we have a supporting sentence. So what is a supporting sentence? Well, a supporting sentence is something that develops, explains, and supports the main idea of the paragraph. So, for example, Canada is the most beautiful country in the world. Then we say why it is. Cool? And it could have things like fact, it could have things like examples, it should show the details. Remember we said in the topic sentence, we don't show the details? Well, now in supporting sentences, this is where we show the details. This is what makes the paragraph stand. Whether we realize it or not, we do this when we're talking all the time. We do this more frequently than we think. For example, if you are telling someone a story, you say the idea, oh, I went to Mexico last weekend. Okay, it was fun. Then what? Why was it fun, right? You start to tell them why it's fun. So we do this all the time in the way we talk. We also do it in when we write. It also explains why the main idea is true. And a helpful tip is try to write at least 3 supporting sentences per paragraph. This is something that we do often. It gives us credibility. So it's not just 1, it's not just 2, it's usually 3. That's when it makes it more believable that what you are arguing in the topic sentence is good. Questions on topic sentences? Okay. No? Cool. So here are examples of supporting sentences. If then we were talking about Canada. So Canada has an excellent healthcare system. Canada has a high standard of education. Canada's cities are clean and efficiently managed. So these are 3 reasons why Canada is one of the best places in the world to live, right? Which was our topic sentence, idea of our topic sentence. So what do we have? 3 supporting sentences that really tell us more about why this is true. Okay? All right. So these are some examples of supporting details. We said that these are our supporting sentences. We can give more if we want to, if we can talk a little bit more about it and give more details. Canada has an excellent healthcare system. All Canadian, how do we know it's true? Well, all Canadians have access to a medical service at a reasonable price. Canadian life expectancy is 81 years old, almost 3 years higher than the United States or in the US. So this is how we know that this statement is true, or how we can prove or add more details to our supporting sentences. Remember, if we want to make the ideal paragraph is about 6 to 12 sentences, and we said 3 of these should at least 3 of these should be supporting sentences. Well, if we have a topic sentence and 3 supporting sentences and a conclusion, that just means that we have 5 sentences. So what about the rest? Well, the rest could come from these details that we add. Okay, so let's put things together. Canada is one of the best countries in the world to live in. First, Canada has an excellent healthcare system. All Canadians have access to medical services at a reasonable price. As a result, Canadian life expectancy at birth is 81 years old, almost 3 years higher than in the US. Second, Canada has a high standard of education. According to Time, Canada is the only nation in which more than half the population has college degrees. Third, Canada's cities are clean and efficiently managed. Calgary was recently named the cleanest city in the world. So what do we have? We have the topic sentence over here. Mm-hmm. Then we have the first supporting sentence, or the first supporting sentence. And then we have supporting details, right? These 2 are supporting details to Canada has an excellent healthcare system. These are the details. Okay. Then we have our second supporting sentence. Canada has a high standard of education. Why, right? These are the details according to time. And then third, Canada's cities are clean and efficiently managed. How do we know this? Well, Calgary was named the cleanest city in the world. Cool?
Cool.
Awesome. All right, so lastly, what we have is a concluding sentence. So what is a concluding sentence? It is the last sentence of the paragraph. It restates the main topic of that paragraph. So what we talked about, kind of to bring it back, because if you notice, we added a lot of detail over here. So we may have forgotten what this is about, right? Because there's so many things that happened between this sentence and the last sentence that comes in that we may forget. Maybe we think now it's about life expectancy. So we have to bring it back. So it restates the main idea of the paragraph and it indicates why the topic is important. It tells us why this thing is actually really important. All right. And then may prepare the reader for the following paragraph. So if we're writing an essay, this would be a chance for us to say, hey, okay, this is a small introduction to what's coming next. This is the end of this and the beginning of that. Okay, so these are some examples of concluding sentences for our paragraph. As a result, Canada is an extremely desirable place to live, right? It restates the first sentence. For these reasons, Canada attracts a lot of immigrants. Again, it tells us the topic, but if we end with this statement, odds are that the next paragraph is going to be about Canada's immigration policies. You guys see it? Yes, no?
Yes.
Makes sense? Okay. So lastly, we have Canada is a great model for other countries to follow. Okay. So let's put it back all together. Canada is one of the best countries in the world to live in. It has an excellent healthcare system. It also has high standards of education. Finally, Canada's cities are clean and efficiently managed. For all these reasons, Canada attracts a lot of immigrants and it's a great model for other countries to follow. Okay. So that's that one. Does that sound good? Any questions?
Sounds good.
Perfect. So